Hello everyone, this is Anika. I'm a journalist and we have with us a veteran politician, Farhatullah Babar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ji.
So, sir, the first question I want to ask you is how does unchecked population growth threaten the state's ability to provide resources and give access to healthcare, education, sanitation, housing problems, and also what is the state's narrative on population?
You see, basically the human rights are expanding. Previously, the human rights were the right to live, the right to life. But now it has expanded, and not only the right to life is the basic human right, but so many other things: right to education, right to health, right to livelihood, right even to a job, right to information. All these have now become fundamental rights. So when the population growth is unchecked, what happens is that the resources are finite, the resources are limited, and when the resources are limited and the population is expanding, it means what? It means that you can't provide health services to a section of the population, you can't provide education to a section of the population, and this impacts on their fundamental rights. Imagine, we increase our population by 5.5 million every year. So new population is 5.5, between 5 and 5.5 million every year. We have to provide health, education, housing, and other infrastructure. And when the resources are not there and we can't provide to this new population the health and education, all this, what happens? We are undermining their basic rights. Therefore, this is of critical importance. Already 26 million children are out of school, and we are adding 5.5 million children every year. And according to this, the government figures, we need to build 33,000 schools every year in order to catch up with the existing shortfall. So I think this is a very good question that you asked, that, well, they are intricately linked, the basic human rights and population growth. So if for no other reason, even for this very reason, the nation must address this issue.
So Pakistan's population has led a lot of people to live in informal settlements and they don't have, a proper house to live in. So what human risks do you think might emerge from such instances when people are pushed to live in places where they don't have access to proper sanitation and the living conditions are not appropriate? So what are the human risks that can emerge?
So, when the resources are finite and they are not expanding and population expanding, so as I said earlier, there's a clash between, the availability of the resources and the population expanding. So what happens is, the result is that people's expectations are not met. When people's expectations are not met and the expectations also are rising, so there is a clash between the reality and the expectations, and this clash results in frustration. And this frustration in the people results in political instability. So that means that even political stability is linked to providing the basic necessities of life to the people, so that there is no clash between their expectations and between the realities of life. So I think that this is that kind of issue which is multifaceted. It is not only linked with the basic human rights, it is also linked with the stability, the political stability of the country. People normally ask us to then, related to this question is, what then is the narrative of the state? Well, we do say, the state says that the population must be checked, it must be controlled, this is good enough. But unfortunately, in my view, our state narrative, the political narrative is, take the case of National Finance Commission. You distribute the cake of the resources according to the population. So the state narrative is, increase the population and you will get greater share.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the narrative. The state doesn't say this. But when you distribute the NFC according to the population, unwittingly your narrative is, आबादी बढ़ाओ और resources में ज़्यादा हिस्सा पाओ, unwittingly.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, lies at the base of the population explosion. Unwittingly, we are promoting a narrative, आबादी बढ़ाओ, resources में ज़्यादा हिस्सा पाओ. 82% of the NFC award is based on population. So agar, if I belong to a smaller province, that province will say, oh, the state narrative is increase the population. If I have to get more share, I have to increase population. So I think this is a dangerous thing. And what we should do is, in order to correct the state narrative, we must de-emphasize the share of the NFC award based on population. Other countries in the region, Bangladesh and India, have done it. We have still not done it. So this, I think, lies at the root.
Great. So access to family planning and reproductive health is central to managing population growth. What human rights protections must Pakistan strengthen to ensure that individuals, especially women, can exercise bodily autonomy and informed choice? So the role.
I think that you have hit the nail's head. You said reproductive health and the woman. And I tell you that the women have to be at the center of the conversation and population. No matter what you do, no matter all the religious sermons and all these policies, they will not bear fruit until you bring the woman to the center stage of the conversation. And I remember the former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, who was the great champion of women's rights, and she was addressing the population global conference in Cairo in 1994. And I really, the way she formulated that, she said that I have a dream that every child in Pakistan, in the region and in the world is born, he is nourished, he is loved, he is educated. And then she goes on to say that how is that possible? She says this is possible only when women are brought into the center stage, because governments can do a lot, but they don't educate children. Children are educated, values are inculcated by the family, and more often it is the mother, more often it is the woman. So she said the woman must be brought into the center stage. And then she concluded by saying, it may sound to be a dream to bring women at the center stage, but then everyone has a right to dream. I also have a right to dream, she said. So I think that you are very correct, you are very right when you alluded to the woman and the reproductive health with reference to the woman lying at the center of the conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very informative, please.